What's up, Virgo? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a general full moon tarot reading for the full moon coming up on April 23rd. This full moon is going to be at 7:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be at 4 degrees Scorpio, which will put it in the 17th mansion of the moon. I'll put a picture of the 17th mansion up. It's all about both financial stability and strong foundations, as well as strong foundations in your relationship or in your love life. It's good for marriage and things like this. It's not good for starting new projects necessarily, but it's good for being ready and already having enough built up for any situation that will come. It's really about foundations, being ready. If you are a Virgo ascendant, this will be occurring in your second or third house. And with the moon is going to be opposite the sun in Taurus. So, and it occurring in your second house, material possessions or money may be on the mind. Specifically, the power that can bring. Because the other aspect that's touching the moon is Pluto square the moon, and then Pluto will also be square the sun because it's in an opposition. So the whole idea of having the power to have enough money or stability or material things, because that is the second house. And with the moon touching the sun in Taurus, it could be a major focus. And third house is, communication. So arguments could be, for some of you, if it's third house, the aspect of power, in arguments or in communication, which generally manifests as arguments if one's trying to get the upper ground or trying to win, right? Virgo's a Mercury sign. It's all about communication. So even just healthy debates, right? That falls under Virgo and falls under Gemini too. That's kind of his natural disposition is to break things down and talk through them and work through them to find solutions. But because Pluto is involved, it could have to do with the aspect, even unconsciously, of like a power struggle. Time for healing. It's always good. And your sign, the sixth house, which is the house that Virgo rules. Virgo does rule healing in a lot of ways, sacrifice, personal health. So that's definitely a Virgo card, no doubt about it. I would just say, whether your second house being lit up or if it's your third, just be careful of the aspect of the power struggle. Money could be a big focus and kind of the power that it brings you. And then at the same time, just with Taurus and Scorpio being involved at all, it could be that, because Taurus is all about what's mine and like the solid foundations of things and not really moving, right? It's about having the foundation so that you can stay and be secure. As to where Scorpio is about breaking everything down and transforming and bringing something new, right? And shared resources instead of what's mine. So that could be, with your second house lit up, that could definitely be a thing. Like, do I want to keep things the way they are and stay very secure, or do I want to change, transform, and not necessarily be so secure because I transform? That type of thing. But it's time for healing. So we'll see what kind of cards come out. Like I said, with your third house, communication, I would be careful with that. There could be a lot of communication around like this or that, as far as like a debate, even if it's a healthy debate. The aspect of power would be involved, trying to have the upper hand in this situation. But like I said, that's kind of a natural way for Virgos and for Geminis, really, because you're the communication sign. Like, I don't like saying arguing just for fun, but debating for fun for sure, because it stimulates learning. I would say Virgos and Geminis should always be in relationships that have an intellectual stimulus involved in it. Not just the physical and the emotional, but absolutely the mental. But anyway, that could be communication right there. It could be communication about money. Been working hard on something. This is the bottom card. Some of you may be feeling financially stable, or at least you're presenting yourself that way, wearing nice things, all that. 9 seems to be an important number. 999. Some of you may be seeing nines. 9 is the boss number in the Fibonacci sequence. You know, the 369, nine's the boss number, the big number. Also represents like endings. You know, the ninth sign of the zodiac would be Sagittarius. It's all about kind of travel, foreign languages, things like this. But generally, it's going to have something to do with like the culmination of something. And you have 3 nines. Actually, you have 4 nines. 4 times 9 is 36, which is 9. So, 9 it is. So 9 is the number for you. It's the boss number. It's the big one. It's the governing number. So some kind of communication or some kind of message is coming in quite suddenly, or came in, and it's about money, most likely. Or it's about your child if you have an earth sign child. It's one of the two interpretations of that. There's probably more interpretations, but I'm going to try to keep it simple. It's a general reading. In the recent past, you were worried about something. Like it could be your child, but it also could be money. I mean, those are common things to worry about, right? If you have a child, you're going to worry about your child. If you have money issues, you're going to worry about money. We all have money issues, let's be real. We all have to have money. You're crowned by hard work. And Virgo's a sign of service. So, working makes sense, especially if you're helping others and serving others, like your child even, right? The unconscious influence is the happy home. This is what you really are wanting. You're wanting this to be the influence. This is what you want around you. And I think it is around you. This is probably what your unconscious focus is. It's what you're really trying to build, right? It's like this happy home, or like solid foundations. And this is a foundation card because it's a 4, and it's also at the foundation of the reading. And again, like I said, the mansion of the moon is about strong foundations. So is the sign of Taurus. So is the second house. So foundations, it's going to be key for you. Like really feeling secure and safe and secure. This is in the near future. Lots of ideas, lots of thoughts, lots of confusion, lots of worry probably. Because in the recent past, it was like nightmares or like really, really anxiety, really worrying. 9 is your number. Some of you are going to be seeing lots of 9s. 9 can also mean like travel. So know that. It could be the traveling away from something, like the completion, the culmination of something, moving somewhere else, anything like that. You feeling overworked? Who doesn't, right? I know I do. Been busting my butt lately. I've been having all kinds of different things pop up that I've had to take care of. Those are kind of unexpected things, like jury duty, tree gets blown down in my backyard, random taxes coming in that I don't even actually owe. Like all of it happened all at the same time. And then my tooth broke, so like, and that too, so like just like lots of things. But these are all things that need to happen so that I get my dental work done. Need to take care of my financial business. Got to chop that tree up, which I did. All that kind of stuff. When it rains, it pours, right? But we have to do our best. And it's saying a time for healing. So this could be a person that you're worried about. Could be like a child, like I said. Maybe they were sick. Maybe you're worried about them. Maybe you were sick and you're worried about the money to pay for it. It could be both. Like it is your child and you're worried about them being sick because of how much it's going to cost you. But you get worried about lots of things. It could be a lot of things occurring for you right now. But at the same time, these are things that are going to have to be taken care of anyway. It's best to get them out the way. I always like to say that if it happens all at one time, especially if it seems like it's piling up on you, I always expect something good to happen like very soon after. Like it's because things balance their way out. And it always feels like that. And it always seems to work like that for me. So, it's going to be different for all of us. But when I have like lots of things to pile on, it seems like I'm expecting something good to happen because of all these things happen that seem to be negative in nature, even though they're really just things that need to be taken care of. I always try to focus on the solutions, not the problems. Then bam, soon or later I get some really, really good news because like it was just building up for that, right? Because energies you have to balance. This is your Virgo card right here, you right now. Maybe you're feeling lonely or you're feeling kind of injured. Maybe you were sick, like I said. Maybe you were hurt in some way, and it's got you staying at home, being all alone. Maybe not necessarily alone, but like feeling like isolated because of it, something like that. Or feeling like because all these things are coming in at once that like You're feeling cut off from the world because you're having to work on these so many things at once. It's like, ugh. But this is you. I mean, it is the Virgo card anyway, the Hermit. So it is you. In your environment is something big. There could be some kind of court situation involved with this. When I see the Hierophant or I see Justice, it could be something around that, or maybe you got hurt and like somehow you're going to get a lawsuit out of it, something like that, whether it be like a car wreck or getting hurt on the job or anything like that, which I don't wish on anybody. Or if someone was hurt and you're trying to heal, you're going to get something out of it. Or you are really focusing on your spiritual practice right now, and that's got you feeling isolated. Maybe it's even got you worried, right? Because when you start opening up that channel within you to connect to what we call spiritual, which is really just, and it is spiritual, but it's the unconscious aspect of self, the dream world or the spiritual world, because we have our linear psychic experience here on the earth when we're awake, and it's linear and clear and everything seems to be solid and in form. The other side of it, when we dream things like this, that's not the case. It's expansive. It's all connected, no boundaries. Spirit, but it's within us. And when you start opening that channel, things can be overwhelming. You start seeing synchronicities and all these other things, and you're trying to really figure out what's mundane and what's sacred. And you can even play tricks on yourself until you get it really reeled in. And it can take years and years to like really understand when the opening happens, like what's going on and how to relate to it. And then you really start to try to learn. You consciously learn about your unconscious, and then you kind of start to understand what the unconscious is telling you, and then you'll see it occurring consciously. So your unconscious will teach your conscious will interpret and teach your unconscious, because you can even program your unconscious. You start thinking in a specific way, you're visualizing specific things, you'll start to dream about them. That's how you know that they're going to be coming around very soon, especially if you can hold that focus. But if it is a spiritual thing and you're feeling overwhelmed and it's not like a lawsuit that you're getting money, you just got to keep working at it. Spend time in deep thought, in try to really break things down that you see and really like trace the pathology within yourself to really kind of understand. You have to have a lot of reflection. You have to reflect a lot on what you think and feel and all these things. And then over time, even though it feels chaotic, it'll start to kind of settle down, and you'll start to get a balance and start to kind of really understand it. But it can take time. It can be really fast for some people, but for several others, it can take years. For me, it took years. This is the advice. Be strong. Like if you are physically healing from something, or even if it's psychological, be strong. This is saying you have everything you need, right? She's got the infinity sign over her head and has power over the material realm. So but the outcome is still showing you feeling worried or feeling like a slave to something or feeling chained to something. If it feels like it's too much, right? Meditate. Ask God for help, right? Whatever that is to you, whatever your spiritual practice is, whatever you consider God. And I believe there are as many different religions as there are minds. That's what Gandhi said, and Gandhi's correct, because we are all unique filters for everything. We may attach to a specific dogmatic religion and have agreements upon it, but either way, we have intricacies and nuances in the way we actually practice, or the ways we actually think about things, or even define them. We may linearly look at the words and be like, well, it means this, but realistically, the way we actually interpret them is unique to self, because everyone is nuanced. Everyone has different experiences. Everyone has different influences. Everyone has different ways of taking in stimulus and learning. So it's going to be unique to every single one of us. And whatever that is to you, if you're feeling chained, pray for help. You have strength. You have the strength to get through whatever this is. Now, if it's a relationship that you're in that you're feeling chained to, it's saying it's a time for healing. So it could be a time of healing for your relationship. And so I would say focus less on having ideas about what this is and what that is, and see it for kind of what it is, Because if you have preconceived notions, whether it be from things that have happened in the past that you're clinging to, or anxieties about what you think is going to happen in the future, you're tainting what it truly is, because you're letting influences from your imagination and from memory alter what it is to you, instead of just being there in the exact moment and letting it be exactly what it is, and then trying to work through it. And it's not easy to do, to be able to like dissolve, experiences or anxieties that we have because of these possibilities of what could happen. But if we can kind of sit in the moment and see it for what it is in the moment, you can get a better clarity, get a better idea of what it actually is, and then therefore what it can be, even though it still has to be discovered, right? So if you're feeling overburdened and overworked, take a step back. Time for healing. Take some time. Really work through things, right? And if it's a court case, you can definitely feel a slave to that kind of situation, but you have everything you need, and it looks like it's going to come out in your favor. But I want to see kind of what this devil card is. Don't generally. Okay. This is the card for the devil card, love. So this may be you're trying to heal a situation. It could be with your child, but it could be with your loved one too, like your spouse. So you're probably trying to heal a relationship. It's definitely possible. Or heal past a relationship and find love again. And you have all the strength you need to do it. This could also be a divorce, right? That's what that can represent. The Hierophant can represent being in court. And if it has something to do with money because there's always money involved with divorces and things like this, or even in separations, if there's not really a formal divorce involved, there's still going to be divvying up of resources. It's time for healing. If you got to reset, you got to reset, right? And it's going to be what's best for you. And know that it's just an opportunity to grow, and then learn, and then maybe even do things different this time, if you can, or even if you choose to enter into something similar again. And it may be that you do heal this relationship through love. And if there is enough love there, you can get through anything with love. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Anyway, Virgo, that's all I have. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it will help them push the algorithm. And I really need watch hours. That's what I'm missing right now to get this monetized, so I can really start giving it some juice. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just grateful that you're here. And I'm grateful for the view. And I hope to see you here again, Virgo. Happy full moon.